Ismail Haniyeh stands as a prominent figure in the Palestinian political landscape. His life and leadership offer a glimpse into the Palestinian struggle for self-determination. From humble beginnings in a Gaza refugee camp to leading Hamas, his journey has been marked by both triumph and turmoil. Haniyeh's story is intricately woven into the fabric of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Understanding his trajectory requires delving into the complexities of Palestinian politics. It demands examining the rise of Hamas and the challenges of navigating a divided Palestinian society. Haniyeh's leadership has been shaped by the tumultuous realities of the ongoing conflict. He has been at the helm of Hamas during periods of both violent confrontation and fragile ceasefires. His decisions have had profound implications for the lives of Palestinians, particularly in the Gaza Strip. This essay will explore the life and leadership of Ismail Haniyeh, providing insights into his political stance and the challenges he has faced. It will delve into key events that have shaped his trajectory, from the 2006 elections to the Hamas-Fatah conflict. Ultimately, it will examine his legacy and ongoing influence on Palestinian politics. Ismail Haniyeh's early life was deeply intertwined with the Palestinian refugee experience. His story is one of resilience and determination, shaped by the harsh realities of displacement and the struggle for identity. Born in 1962 in the Al-Shati refugee camp in Gaza, he witnessed firsthand the hardships faced by Palestinians displaced from their homes. The camp, often overcrowded and under-resourced, was a stark reminder of the ongoing conflict and the enduring plight of his people. Growing up in the Gaza Strip, a densely populated area with limited resources, had a profound impact on his worldview. The daily struggles for basic necessities like food, water, and shelter were a constant backdrop to his formative years, instilling in him a deep sense of empathy and a drive to seek justice for his community. Despite the challenging circumstances, Haniyeh pursued education, attending schools run by the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, or UNRWA. These schools were not just places of learning, but also sanctuaries of hope, where young Palestinians could dream of a better future. He later enrolled in the Islamic University of Gaza, where he studied Arabic literature. This academic pursuit was more than just a field of study. It was a way to connect with his cultural heritage and to understand the rich history and struggles of his people. It was during his university years that he became actively involved in student politics. The campus was a hotbed of political discourse and activism, providing a fertile ground for young minds to engage in debates and to organize for change. The Islamic University of Gaza was a breeding ground for political activism, particularly within the Islamic movement. Here, Haniyeh found a community of like-minded individuals who were equally passionate about the Palestinian cause and the need for political and social reform. Haniyeh's involvement in student politics provided an early platform for his leadership qualities to emerge. He quickly became a prominent figure, known for his eloquence and his ability to mobilize and inspire his peers. He quickly rose through the ranks of the Islamic Bloc, the student wing of the Muslim Brotherhood, which later gave birth to Hamas. This organization played a crucial role in shaping his political ideology and his approach to activism. Haniyeh's experiences as a refugee and student activist laid the foundation for his political beliefs. The challenges he faced and the resilience he witnessed among his people fueled his commitment to their cause. The dispossession and resilience of the Palestinian people became central themes in his rhetoric. He often spoke of the need for unity and resistance, drawing on his own life experiences to underscore the importance of these values. His upbringing instilled in him a deep commitment to the Palestinian cause and a belief in the power of resistance. This unwavering dedication would later define his political career as he continued to advocate for the rights and dignity of his people on the global stage. The 1980s witnessed a surge in Palestinian resistance against Israeli occupation. This period was marked by widespread unrest and a growing sense of urgency among Palestinians to reclaim their land and rights. The Israeli military presence in Palestinian territories only fueled the fire of resistance, leading to frequent clashes and protests. The First Intifada, a mass uprising that erupted in 1987, had a profound impact on Haniyeh's political trajectory. This grassroots movement saw Palestinian youths and civilians taking to the streets, armed with nothing but stones and an unyielding spirit. The Intifada not only challenged the Israeli occupation, but also reshaped the Palestinian political landscape, giving rise to new leaders and movements. During this tumultuous time, Haniyeh joined Hamas, a newly formed Islamic resistance movement that emerged from the Muslim Brotherhood in Gaza. Hamas quickly gained traction among Palestinians, offering an alternative to the secular PLO and advocating for an Islamic state in historic Palestine. Haniyeh's alignment with Hamas marked the beginning of his deep involvement in the resistance movement. Hamas rejected the Oslo Accords, signed between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, in the early 1990s. The accords, which aimed to establish a framework for peace and Palestinian self-governance, were seen by Hamas as a betrayal of Palestinian rights and aspirations. The movement's staunch opposition to the accords set it apart from other Palestinian factions and solidified its commitment to armed resistance. The movement viewed the accords as a betrayal of Palestinian rights and continued its armed struggle against Israeli occupation. Hamas fighters underwent rigorous training, preparing for confrontations with Israeli forces. The green flags of Hamas became a symbol of defiance and resistance, rallying large crowds and garnering widespread support. Haniyeh's role within Hamas grew during this period. He became an integral part of the movement's leadership, participating in strategic discussions and planning operations. His ability to connect with supporters and articulate the movement's goals made him a key figure in Hamas's rise. He became known for his charisma and organizational skills. Haniyeh's speeches resonated with the masses, and his presence at rallies and community meetings inspired many. His leadership style was characterized by a blend of pragmatism and unwavering commitment to the cause. Haniyeh played a key role in establishing Hamas's social service networks, which provided essential services to Palestinians in Gaza. These networks included healthcare clinics, educational institutions, and various community services. By addressing the immediate needs of the population, Hamas was able to build a strong support base and gain legitimacy among Palestinians. These networks, ranging from healthcare clinics to educational institutions, helped solidify Hamas's support base among the Palestinian population. Families received much-needed aid, children attended schools that promoted the movement's ideology, and patients received care in facilities run by Hamas. This comprehensive approach to social services reinforced the movement's influence and reach. Haniyeh's rise within Hamas coincided with a period of intense conflict with Israel. The ongoing violence and military operations further entrenched the divide between the two sides. Haniyeh's leadership was tested as he navigated the complexities of war and resistance. The movement's armed wing carried out a series of suicide bombings and attacks targeting Israeli civilians and military personnel. These actions, while controversial and condemned by the international community, were seen by some Palestinians as a legitimate form of resistance against occupation. The cycle of violence and retaliation continued to escalate, shaping the region's political dynamics. These attacks, while condemned by the international community, were seen by some Palestinians as a legitimate form of resistance against occupation. Public opinion in Gaza was divided, with some viewing Hamas as defenders of Palestinian rights, while others criticized the movement's tactics. The international media coverage further complicated the narrative, portraying the conflict through various lenses. Haniyeh's ability to navigate the complexities of Palestinian politics, coupled with his commitment to the resistance, made him a central figure within Hamas. He engaged in negotiations with other Palestinian leaders, striving to unify the resistance while maintaining Hamas's distinct identity. His diplomatic skills and strategic thinking were crucial in advancing the movement's objectives. He emerged as a pragmatic leader, capable of balancing the movement's ideological commitments with the practical realities of the conflict. Haniyeh's leadership was marked by a delicate balance between maintaining the movement's core principles and adapting to the ever-changing political landscape. His ability to navigate these challenges solidified his position as a key leader within Hamas and a prominent figure in the broader Palestinian resistance. The year 2006 marked a significant turning point in Palestinian politics, one that would have far-reaching implications for the region and beyond. Legislative elections were held, pitting Hamas, a group known for its resistance against Israeli occupation, against the long-dominant Fatah Party, which had been the face of Palestinian politics for decades. To the surprise of many international observers, Hamas won a decisive victory, securing a majority of seats in the Palestinian Legislative Council. This unexpected outcome sent shockwaves through the political landscape. Ismail Haniyeh, a prominent Hamas leader, was tasked with forming a government. His leadership was seen as a new chapter in Palestinian governance. His appointment as prime minister signaled a seismic shift in Palestinian politics, one that would redefine the region's dynamics. This shift challenged the established order and raised significant concerns within Israel and the international community about the future of the peace process and regional stability. The Hamas-led government faced immediate and daunting challenges. The political landscape was fraught with tension and uncertainty. Israel, along with the United States and the European Union, refused to recognize the legitimacy of the election results. This rejection was based on Hamas's history and its stance towards Israel. They demanded that Hamas renounce violence, recognize Israel's right to exist, and abide by previous agreements signed between Israel and the PLO. These demands were seen as essential for any progress in peace talks. Hamas, however, refused to meet these demands, standing firm on its principles and its electoral mandate. The movement argued that it had been democratically elected and that its resistance against occupation was legitimate. This stance resonated with many Palestinians who felt marginalized and oppressed. The refusal to comply with international demands led to a crippling economic and political blockade of the Gaza Strip. This blockade had severe humanitarian consequences for the Palestinian population, exacerbating an already dire situation. The 2006 elections and the subsequent international response plunged Palestinian politics into a state of turmoil. The political landscape became increasingly fragmented and volatile. Haniyeh's tenure as prime minister was marked by a deepening rift between Hamas and Fatah. This internal division further complicated efforts to achieve Palestinian unity and statehood, making the path to peace and stability even more elusive. Despite numerous attempts at reconciliation and peace talks, the divide between the two factions remained a significant barrier. The international community continued to grapple with how to address the complex and multifaceted issues at play. Meanwhile, the people of Gaza and the West Bank continued to endure the hardships brought on by political instability and economic sanctions. Humanitarian efforts aimed at alleviating their suffering were ongoing, but the challenges were immense. Amidst the turmoil, the hope for a better future persisted. The younger generation, in particular, held on to the dream of peace and prosperity despite the obstacles they faced. The story of the 2006 elections is a testament to the resilience and determination of the Palestinian people. It underscores the complexities of their struggle and the high stakes involved in their quest for self-determination and peace.